Welcome to this informative narration about housing bubbles. A housing bubble, or real estate bubble, is an economic phenomenon that occurs in local or global real estate markets. It is defined by rapid increases in the valuations of real property such as housing until they reach unsustainable levels relative to incomes and other economic elements, then decline. Let's delve into why and how they occur. Housing bubbles are driven by an increase in demand, constrained supply, and speculative behavior. Housing bubbles burst when demand decreases or supply increases. This first portion of our discussion will focus on understanding what housing bubbles are and why they occur. In the second segment, we will focus on signs of a housing bubble. Identifying a housing bubble can be challenging since it requires distinguishing between a bubble and legitimate price growth due to increasing demand or other factors. However, certain indicators can suggest a bubble may be forming. These include rapid price increases, where prices rise much quicker than inflation and income levels, high numbers of flipping properties, which involve buying properties to sell them quickly for profit, unsustainable mortgage debt, where borrowing significantly outpaces income, and a high ratio of house prices to rents. Houses become significantly more expensive than renting similar properties. Now let's move on to part 3 and discuss how housing bubbles affect the economy. The effects of a housing bubble can extend well beyond housing markets, impacting the broader economy. When a housing bubble bursts, the drop in wealth can lead to recessions, as we saw in the Great Recession in the 2008-09 period, when the U.S. housing market crash led to a banking crisis and subsequently a worldwide economic downturn. Also, plummeting home prices can lead to negative equity, which occurs when the value of a home is less than the outstanding balance on the mortgage. This can lead to fewer consumer expenditures and hinder economic growth. In the fourth part, we will discuss how can housing bubbles be prevented. Prevention mainly focuses on controlling speculative excess and ensuring a balance between supply and demand. Governments and central banks play a crucial role in this. They can impose stricter requirements for lending and limit the amount of borrowing relative to the borrower's income to control speculation. Governments can also manage supply by enacting sensible zoning laws and supporting development to meet housing needs. Meanwhile, strengthening the financial literacy of consumers can help them make informed decisions instead of getting carried away by potentially unsustainable price rises. Finally, let's talk about the impact of housing bubbles on personal finances. For homeowners or real estate investors during a bubble, the rapid increase in property values can create a wealth effect, leading to increased consumer confidence and spending. However, if a bubble bursts, those benefits can quickly turn into liabilities, especially if homes were bought with high levels of debt or as speculative investments hoping to make a quick profit. This crisis can lead to a sharp downturn in personal wealth and economic hardship. Thus, understanding these risks and taking a cautious approach during periods of rapid price growth can be beneficial.